Thanks, Riaz. At 6:30, good morning. Surrey's mayor launches a special task force today as the city tries to figure out how to curb a record-breaking homicide rate. Meantime, RCMP continue to investigate Surrey's 23rd murder of the year. The 44-year-old man killed at an illegal after-hours bar Saturday has been identified as Ronald Richard Lomas. Police say he had a long criminal history. Another man is in hospital after being severely injured at the house at 147 A Street. RCMP shut down the illegal operation last year, but say they just discovered it had reopened.
We were familiar with the residents. We had solved some of the issues, but again, some of those issues had apparently appeared again. So, by the public knowing what is going on in certain houses, residences, suspicious activities, definitely the public plays a big role in contacting us.
A second man has been charged in connection with Surrey's 21st homicide of 2013. The 30-year-old is accused of second-degree murder and robbery with a firearm. A 44-year-old man was killed during the home invasion on King George Boulevard earlier this month. Surrey Mayor Diane Watts will meet with her newly formed murder task force today at City Hall. It includes the school district, police, and crime analysts. Homicide investigators are now handling the death of an inmate at the Alouette Correctional Centre for Women. Ridge Meadows RCMP arrived at the prison on Friday, where the 51-year-old was found unresponsive. She was taken to hospital and pronounced dead. One woman has been arrested, but no charges have been laid. Police are awaiting an autopsy to confirm the cause of death. A third person has been convicted in the murders of Lisa Dudley and Guthrie McKay. Justin Andrew McKinnon has pleaded guilty to manslaughter, receiving a sentence of 7 years minus time served. Dudley and McKay were shot in their Mission home in 2008. She allegedly ran a grow-op out of the house. A fourth person has been charged and awaits trial. There has been a major development in the Surrey 6 trial, but we can't tell you what it is right now because of a publication ban. The trial of Corey Havishar, Matthew Johnston, and Michael Lee was supposed to resume Monday after a week-long break, but it has been adjourned until tomorrow afternoon. The three are accused of killing 6 people, including 2 innocent bystanders, in what's been described as a gang dispute over the drug trade.
The publication ban is therefore so that we don't have a mistrial. And if information is leaked out, then there can be a mistrial, and all this process and all the hard work and families waiting for 6 years will all go to waste. So I support the publication ban.
Opponents of a proposed jet fuel facility at YVR are gathering this morning in a final plea to the province to halt the project. The proposed facility is set for construction on the south bend of the Fraser River and through Richmond. If given the go-ahead, the facility would include a jet fuel terminal, tank farm, and pipeline. Opponents of the project are concerned the Fraser estuary and the marshlands surrounding it would be at risk in the event of a spill. Environment Minister Mary Pollock is expected to make a ruling on the facility by December 24th. Later today, the province is expected to announce what is projected to be a massive increase in BC Hydro rates. Last month, a leaked document projected a hike of over 26% for homeowners, small businesses, and industrial users from 2014 to 2016. Energy Minister Bill Bennett said the number would not be that high, and he refused to get specific until the press conference happens later this morning. The Vancouver School Board has written an open letter to the Premier calling for an increase in education funding for school districts in the next provincial budget. The board says the Premier should listen to a report by an all-party finance committee which recommends more funding to address aging school facilities, seismic upgrades, and rising utility costs. Chair Patty Backus says Vancouver has cut $47 million from its own budget to balance its books in the last decade. She says districts can't keep cutting staff, services, and resources without any impact on students.
We're really concerned. Each year it gets more difficult. Each year we're trying to take away from a budget that has been pared down. So we're calling on the Premier, calling on Cabinet to say we need to increase the funding that is going to public school districts so we can ensure we can continue to meet the needs of all students.
6:34 big sports news. Hockey fans will enjoy having one clear choice for their hockey viewing for more than the next decade, as there is a massive business deal to tell you about in the world of sports and the media this morning. The NHL says it has reached a multi-billion-dollar agreement with our parent company, Rogers Communications. Greg Harper is live at Rogers Arena with the very latest. Greg.
Yeah, good morning, Jody. We're talking about a number of years here and a lot of money. Rogers Communications has reached a 12-year deal with the NHL. It's worth $5.2 billion. And in this agreement, Rogers is partnering with the CBC, meaning that Hockey Night in Canada will remain. According to the league, this agreement gives Rogers the national rights to all NHL games. This includes the Stanley Cup playoffs, the final as well. It also includes the All-Star game and the NHL draft in June. This deal begins at the start of the 2014-15 season. It expires at the end of the 2025-26 season. However, this is still subject to approval. That has to come from the NHL Board of Governors. They are meeting next month, December 9th and 10th. That's when you can expect this to be made official. Jody?